Little did I realize when I did Sharry Mann's hair transplant procedure some 8 years back that his transformation will become the talk of the town, will become viral in the Punjabi community in India and abroad, especially for Sikhs suffering from traction alopecia and seeking a hair transplant procedure to correct their hairline. Today, his before and after hair transplant pictures have become a reference point for those seeking a hair transplant procedure for Sikh traction alopecia. While in the United States attending a conference in California, a hair transplant surgeon who was practicing in this region came forward to me and congratulated me, saying that any Sikh from that locality, and there are plenty of Sikhs in California, any Sikh suffering from traction alopecia has got inspired so much from that one video of Sharry Mann that we posted about 8 years back that they want to have a hairline just like Sharry Mann. Hair transplant for Sikh traction alopecia became popular just about a decade back, because before that, hair transplant surgeons were used to doing only traction alopecia, which was consequent to traction alopecia in the African American race group. And since in this racial group, the results of hair transplant after traction alopecia were not very inspiring, they thought that the same thing would hold true for doing a hair transplant in Sikhs suffering from traction alopecia. Sharry Mann is a popular Punjabi singer. His voice is soulful and nostalgic at the same time. His dreamy eyes and soulful rendition create magic for the Punjabi community. And after Sharry Mann got his procedure done with us, there was no looking back for him. His screen presence became better and better and better.
ਝੋਨਾ ਵੱਢ ਕੇ ਕਣਕ ਬੀਜਣੀ ਬਾਪੂ ਹੋਇਆ ਬਿਮਾਰ ਨੀ ਚੰਡੀਗੜ੍ਹ ਵਾਲੀਏ ਹੁਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੁੜਦੇ ਆ। ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਦੋਸਤੋ, ਮੈਂ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਸ਼ੈਰੀ ਮਾਨ। ਚੰਡੀਗੜ੍ਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਪਿਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਹੇਅਰ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਪਲਾਂਟ ਕਰਾਉਣਾ ਸੀ ਡਾਰਲਿੰਗ ਬਡਸ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ, ਔਰ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਪਲਾਂਟ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਹੀ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਾਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਆਇਆ। ਸੋ थैंकफुल टू डॉक्टर भट्टी जिन्हों ने इन्ना वधिया मेरा हेयर ट्रांसप्लांट किया, ते सारी टीम का डार्लिंग बड्स की सारी टीम का मैं दिलों थैंक यू करदा, क्योंकि जो मैंने कॉम्पलीमेंट्स मिलते हैं तुहाडे सारिਆਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ मेरे वालों ਨੂੰ देख के तो मैंने बहुत खुशी होंदी है, और मैं हमेशा फिर इन्हां दा थैंक यू करदा हुंदा।
And as his video of hair transplant became popular, hordes of patients suffering from Sikh traction alopecia started turning up at my clinic for a hair transplant. Today, Sikh traction alopecia is very commonly corrected through hair transplant, and our practice is the leading clinic for management of Sikh traction alopecia in the world. We were early starters in this field, and also because of our geographical position, we have an advantage as far as Sikh traction alopecia and hair transplant are concerned. Sharry Mann, when he came to me in 2013, was already a superstar. His popular songs Sone Mukhde, Pind, Chona Vadke and Yaran Mule were already hit songs. He had already done 2 films, Oye Hoye Pyar Ho Gaya and Ishq Garari. But as his hair transplant results set in by the end of 2013, early 2014, and if you see his before and after videos, and when you watch him in the movies that he did after the hair transplant and the songs that he did after the hair transplant, there's a world of difference. You can see the huge transformation in his looks in his songs Hostel and Dilwale. So when we did his hair transplant in 2013, Sharry Mann required 2,822 scalp grafts for his hairline, his mid-scalp and the temple points. You can see his clear Bram Stoker type hairline, which is V-shaped with exaggerated temple points. But a point to be noted which many people do not know and do not realize is that when we were doing his hair transplant, he required 3,500 grafts. But since his scalp donor area was also affected by Sikh traction alopecia, in the sense that hair had been pulled out and some hair were atretic and not worthy of harvest. So therefore we could only get 2,822 scalp grafts for his hair restoration procedure. And since the grafts were less in number, out of compulsion we had to do his Bram Stoker hairline, V-shaped hairline like we did in this picture. His hairline that we did was a compromise. It was not done by design. On the day of the procedure, we had not been able to harvest 3,500 grafts that he required for a hairline that would suit his face. So we did a V-shaped hairline, a Bram Stoker hairline. And it was decided that after 6 to 9 months, he will come back to us and we will correct his temples and make his hairline less V-shaped and less pronounced, less exaggerated temple points. But in that period of time, that interregnum, when his result came up and he signed a few songs and sung a few songs, and these songs, when they became very popular, it became increasingly difficult for him to come back for lowering his temples. His identity increasingly became his V-shaped hairline. And now that he has become so comfortable with his body image, he now does not have the inclination to come in for a second procedure. Well, this is a secret which many of his fans do not know about his hairline. His hairline became so popular that many of his fans who had Sikh Traction Alopecia in India and abroad came seeking the same type of hairline that we had designed on Sharry Mann. So this is about Sharry Mann and Sharry Mann's hair restoration journey and his present iconic hairline that is so popular in the Punjabi community. Thank you for watching again, and if you have any questions about this video or any questions about hair loss and hair transplant which you want to ask me, please drop a comment below and I'll be too happy to answer all your questions. God bless you.